It's Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back to my channel. Now let's get into Ready to Love. Nephew Tommy sits down with all of the ladies because it is their week to make the decision on what men stay and what man goes home. He tells the ladies that he wants them to dig deep and really get to know these guys. And honestly, as I watched the episode, I feel like the only lady that kind of dug deep to me and was really trying to get to know the guys was Liz. I felt like she asked deeper questions than what you like, what's your favorite color, what's this, what's that, okay, what you like to do for fun. I think she was like, get to the nutty. Okay, let's get to it, honey. What are your thoughts about abstaining from sex until you marry? Like, what are your thoughts about this, okay? What was going on in your past relationship? I feel like Liz was the only one that kind of dug deep, which resulted in her getting a better connection with Dave. So Joel invites Vernicia over to his house where it looks like he had brunch, he had flowers and everything. It was really nice. She is very pretty. They actually look good together. So I'm like, okay, I wouldn't mind seeing Joel and her together. He speaks on him losing his wife, and although he's lost his wife, you know, he feels that he's at a place where he's still ready to give somebody his love. She said, did you losing your wife change you for the better or for the worse? He said, I don't know. I honestly don't know if it did or didn't, but like I said, I know that I'm at a place where I'm ready to share my life with somebody. I want to give somebody love because I have love to give. So that's where I'm at with things. He also goes on to tell her, you know, one of the things that made me really connect with you was your love for your family and how you speak about your family and how family is important to you because it's also important to me. She goes on, she agrees with the same thing. She says that at this moment of where she is in the show, even though it's like what, the second, third day or whatever, she says that she's really feeling him. Like she doesn't have any other options and she knows it's pretty soon, but all her eggs right now are unfortunately in the basket of Joel. So we'll see how that's gonna pan out for the two of them. Now I will say this, when he was over there hugging on Miss Vernicia, I said, let me tell you, he loved Miss Vernicia's body. He was towering over her, looking down at her booty, honey. He was shaking her because he was really trying to see that booty shake. And I said, Joel, I see you for what you're trying to do, sir. I see you. We see each other. I see what you over there trying to do, trying to hug on that lady and shake on that lady because you was trying to see her booty shake. We see you, sir. You ain't sneaky. But okay. Amber and Chris have a date. In this date, I felt like it was more of Chris getting to know about Amber than it was Amber actually getting to know about Chris. She says that she doesn't like group dates because when she's on a date with a guy, she likes all of the attention to be on her. Hence the reason she had the crack face when she went out last week and Troy was all up under Andrea and not up under her. She kind of felt silly, like, why am I here? You know, Troy obviously did not know how to split his time. Okay. So she also goes on to expose to Chris that she's a DA. He thought that was kind of major. For a second there, I was kind of like, Chris, do you even know what a DA is? Because you're looking a bit confused, honey. Do you know what she means? If you need to ask her what the initials are, then just say that, okay? So that she can explain, because he looked a bit confused, okay? And then he said something like the stock just went up or the price just went up. And I'm like, okay, I guess. But y'all not an item yet for anything to go up for you just yet. Okay, you guys need to become one. And then maybe your stock or something to come up. You know, he also goes on to tell her that he doesn't want to be a person that changes her from who she is. He wants her to be exactly who she is. He's just there to be a supporter, to be a helper. And that's really it. Not to be a dominator, if that's the right term. Not to control her in any capacity. Nothing like that. He wants it to be a true partnership. We learned that she was adopted at a very young age and she recently connected with her biological sister. They were split up at the age of 5 and 7. And Chris also could relate to that based on his father having a lot of children or whatever. But I want to go back to the conversation of her being split up as a child. I really hate that when people go into adoption and when they're snatched from their families, they're taken from their families and they have to go through the foster care system and then the adoption system. I really hate that they have to split children up. And some part of me really believes y'all don't have to split these kids up. I feel like y'all make a choice to split these kids up. I feel like if you presented them with, hey, these two kids are a package deal, we don't want to split them up, you know, they're 3 and 4 or they're 5 and 6 or whatever the age is, I think that you can present it like that. But I also understand that ultimately your whole goal is to put them in a home. But I also feel like, I don't know a lot about this, but I will say, I feel like they do that because they get incentives and they get money off these children. They get monies off the heads of them when they place them in a household. And sometimes when you put them in foster care or adoption or wherever you put them, some of those families don't get compensated. They gotta wait like a year or however long it takes for them to even receive a check from the DFACS department or DHR or whoever it is that takes the kids. It's like they gotta wait forever for y'all to send them a coin to help take care of them. So I feel like they do things like that for check purposes and for monetary gain, in my opinion. But if anybody works in that environment, in that industry, y'all chime down below and let me know y'all thoughts on that. I know I'm kind of venturing off a little bit, but it just made me think of that when I saw that. And I'm like, dang, y'all ain't have to split that girl up from her family. Like, come on, find a family that's willing to take both of them. Y'all ain't got no group home y'all can put them in until further notice or something like that. Let them stay together. Separating these people, they go on, they live their life, and then they got to find out where they are. And luckily for Amber, she grew up in a nice home. She was able to become an attorney and be successful, and we can't say the same for her sister. But either way, she and Chris were able to relate and connect with each other on that level, and it brought them a bit closer, and they like each other. So we'll see how things are going to go from here. I will say, and still stand by this, I don't care what y'all talk about in them comments, Amber is rocking with Chris because of limitation, I think, okay? All these men on this show is old, okay? All these men over here is old, and it's just like, girl, is that really what you want? Or this is just the best pick out of the few that you have? Yikes. But if that's what y'all want to do, okay, Nephew Tommy, get that together. If you're only gonna have people 35 and up, just have people 35 and up. Start reaching down to the 20s and early 30s and stuff like that and trying to pair them with a middle-aged 40-year-old or something like that. I just refuse to agree with that. Those are my thoughts. I'm gonna stand by those thoughts. Y'all feel how y'all wanna feel, but Amber and Chris, I do not see them being an item. I just don't see it for me. Y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down below, and I'm gonna go ahead and move on. Alexis and Troy link up. Troy over there looking at her like, oh, she looks so good. She look good. She did, she that. Okay, Alexis came in ready to get straight to business. And I'm not going to play with you. I'm not going to waste time with you. Okay, I've wasted enough of my time with you right here, sir. Okay, so let me go ahead and get you together real quick, okay? He over there acting like he all excited to see her. She's like, oh, you are? Really? So you are excited to see me? He was like, yeah, She was like, oh, really? I heard that you was excited to see a lot of ladies. You know, here's the problem. Be quiet, Troy, because let me go ahead and say what it is I got to say, because I'm give me a second, okay? The girls was around here telling me that what you was telling me, you was going around telling everybody else, and you know, I don't appreciate that, and I don't like that at all. I'm just telling you what it is, okay? Nope. I know my spirit is electrifying, because he's like, you know, your spirit is electrifying. You know, I feel it, you know. It's just something good about you. Yeah, I know it is, okay? I know that. But you're not gonna play me, is what you're not gonna do. So I hope you feel the electricity coming up off my right now as I dig into yours. So you hear what I'm telling you, okay? It's one thing to date me, okay, and I understand that we're on a show where we have to date around, but it's one thing to date me and tell me something and then go and date other women and tell them the exact same thing that you told me, okay? Because here's the thing, I want to feel a little different. At the end of the day, I know we got all these other ladies and all these other men we got to go around and see, but the connection I have with you should still be a bit different, okay? And I'm not feeling different at all. I feel like it's the same. Okay, and then let me get on your kisses, okay? Because, you know, you like to go around and kiss everybody. You're like, I ain't kiss yourself. You ain't kiss me? You don't remember kissing me? Okay, when I came in, you kissed me. He was like, did I? She was like, okay. That's another reason why I won't want to be with him. Girl, he can't remember S-H-I-N-O-T, honey. Okay, knowing he just kissed you, either that or he's trying to play dumb as hell, okay? So she goes on to tell him about how he's been kissing everybody. He been up there kissing this person, kissing that person. He was like, you sure? I don't believe that. You know, she was like, why you don't believe? He said, because that's just not me. That's not my character. That's not what I do. She was like, honey, it's not what you do, but we got it all on camera. Okay, see, you refuse to believe what's the truth about you. That's your problem. You refuse to believe the truth about yourself, okay? Because you think that you just God's gift to everybody, don't you? See, that's why this relationship right here not gonna work no way. Because I can't deal with a man that won't accept his own faults or acknowledge them at all. Okay, so you got me 1000% Troy. Then he goes on into the confessional and say that none of the women flinched or anything when he kissed them as if they liked it. He said it seems like they liked it. And I said, if that don't sound like some, first of all, you're a manipulator. Second of all, it sounds like it gives me molester, rapist type of family members that don't want to deal with the truth of what's going on in a household type of SHI. Well, like if somebody had been sexually violated by a family friend or a family member, the mothers or the dads say, well, you must have liked it because you ain't saying that. What kind of SHI or T is that? Just because somebody didn't tell your ass they want you kissing on them should be enough to know that it's a possibility they didn't like it. Matter of fact, I got one better for you. If one of the ladies told your ass that they don't like that shit, you should consider that a lot of these other ladies don't like you. And how about you get consent before you just put your motherfucking lips on women that you don't even know and you just met for only 3 seconds? Are you serious with your old ass? You are old enough to know this. Are you serious? You so damn old, still out here running and trying to play games and then trying to offer women trips and shit like that's supposed to change something. I am so glad that Troy ass is completely gone. Then Miss Alexis gonna sit up there and ask this man who his number one is. I said, baby, we don't have to ask him a god thing, man. We don't. What we asking for? What we asking for? Because here's what's fact. He's not yours. So it doesn't matter whose his is because he's not yours. Okay? He can go. He can go. Am I done? Is this a wrap? I can go? Oh, okay, good. Because he got me fucked up with his old ass. Stacy and David go on a date, right? And she's teaching him Pilates or whatever. Don't nobody really care about all this. Okay? She's talking to him about relationship and transparency and privacy and things. And he feels like when you're married, you're supposed to be open. She feels as though he has misconstrued what privacy really means. She says she thinks that he believes privacy means secrecy. Because how David sees it is that if you're in a marriage, you know, everything should be accessible. Like you should be able to have access to everything. She says that, you know, if I have a journal that I'm writing, like I don't want you reading my journal because that's mine. You know, that's where things should be private. But then he looks at it as though you're trying to hide something from him. So I kind of understood where Stacy was coming from. I understood a little bit of where he was coming from, but I feel Stacy on if I have a diary or if I have something for me, I don't want my husband reading it. That's mine. I'm not gonna go into your man book or whatever you have and go into your shit, you know? So don't go into mine like that. You know, I don't go into my man's phone. So don't go into mine, but I have access to his phone. I know he got access to mine, but that's just something that we don't do. So I wouldn't want to like, what? So I understood where she was coming from. Like privacy, like this is mine, but also I'm gonna be transparent, meaning if there's something you wanna know, then I'll share that with you, but don't think that I'm over here trying to hide something from you because I want to have this to myself. So what I think with David is that David has been extremely scarred from his past, and I feel like it stems all the way from his childhood, from him learning at a later time that he couldn't have girlfriends and he couldn't talk on the phone to ladies and things. I feel like that baby was scarred at a long time, you know, from a young age. He goes off to college, he forgets about the church, and then once he graduates, moves on with his life, he comes back to church. And he also got married at a young age and things. And we learn all of this as Liz is actually digging deeper into his past relationships and into his life. So David just doesn't want anything hidden from him. So somewhere in his life created a deep-rooted insecurity within him. I don't know if it happened with his parents and, you know, his childhood, or if it happened with his first wife, or unless it was like reoccurring damage to the same wound over and over and over from childhood to the 2 marriages or something. I'm not sure, but he has to break that view of if I have a journal and I'm writing in my journal, like I don't want you reading that. That's for me. That's not necessarily for you because I'm writing down my thoughts or whatever. So it's just like you can read the journal, misinterpret some things, and then make it a bigger issue than what it has to be. And that's what David gives me, that he may make bigger situations out of small things, and it don't even gotta be like that. You know, that's what I get from David. But obviously it seems like Liz said that she can relate. She understands that lifestyle. She was embedded in church as well as she grew up, so she understands that when you're married, you know, things should be open. Y'all should have an open everything, open communication, access to everything. And that's how she grew up, so she can truly relate to David. Now I'm gonna fast forward to the end of the day when Nephew Tommy asks, hey, who do you like, who do you not like? Of course, Liz really likes David, but Stacy took it as an opportunity, in my opinion, to kind of like drag David, try and throw him under the bus. And it's kind of like, I'm not a fan of Stacy. You know, when she first came and did her little intro, getting to know her, and she talked about how, you know, she got cheated on by this NBA player, and she got these kids and her son stayed behind to help her and all this SHI. It's something about Stacy. It's like Stacy's so busy making these men look bad that, girl, are you even connecting with anybody? You like Christian, then you couldn't wait to kind of throw him under the bus to some other ladies. And then here it is, we got David, and now you can't wait to throw him under the bus to Liz. And it's like, girl, just fall back. Like, I mean, and maybe she could have said what she needed to say and just be mindful or careful of how she said it. But it seemed like, to me, in my opinion, I feel like she was kind of trying to throw him under the bus a bit. And I don't think what she said was too far off from the way that I think about him, but I think she could have did it a bit more tasteful, seeing that one of the ladies like him. But I do appreciate the fact that Liz, although she heard that information, she's willing to get to know him on her own and seeing how things can work out between the two of them, because she can relate to his lifestyle so much. So we'll just see. And who knows, Stacy's statements and the aggressive way that she went at him could really deem to be true by the end of the season, but we'll just see. Liz also had a date with AJ. She got straight to the point. What are your thoughts about, you know, not having sex prior to marriage? She said, you must be celibate. And she was like, well, I'm abstinent. You know, I definitely had sex before in my life, but I'm abstinent at this time. And AJ said that he's been in a position where he's had to wait before. But it seems like he wasn't solely prone to that idea of having to wait. But it sounds like to me that he would if he had to. So he said that he really gets a good vibe, a great energy whenever he's around Liz. So it seems like he may not do that with all women, but based on her presence, it seems like he'll be willing to do that with her. So we'll see. I don't see Liz and AJ being a connection at all, but okay, girl. Two of the individuals went on a date that we did not see go on a date at all last week. So they went on a date with each other, Ron and Chrysanthemum. We learned that the two have a lot in common with what they want out of a mate. He asked her what she needs from a man. She said, I need a life partner. You know, I want a best friend. Those are the things that I want. Ron says that he's ready for a family. He wants to be married. He wants to have a fun marriage and all of this stuff. But I found it to be interesting with everything he said that he wants. Chrysanthemum is a flight attendant. Now, last time we saw him have a conversation with Andrea about her being a flight attendant and how he's going to want her to be at the house all the time and being a mom to the kids. But we never saw the conversation come up with Ron and Chrysanthemum, how she's going to respond to leaving her flight attendant job to be a full-time mom at home with these children. We didn't see that dynamic, so it seems like the connection they have is straight surface. To me, they really didn't get deeper. They just talked about what they may want in a mate or anything. They didn't talk about like their jobs or how everything would work out. But I guess as they continue to date each other, those questions would come up. So she really seemed to like the more of the physical appearance of Ron, and he liked the physical appearance of her too. He said that she was a part of the top from the very beginning, and they are really feeling each other, and I'm not feeling them at all. I just don't see it, but we'll just see how it goes. Like, I'm not featuring them at all, but okay, girl, good luck, honey. Now, we noticed that Tressa and Kyra did not go on any dates this week. At least we did not see the two ladies go on dates this week. But Nephew Tommy still linked up with the ladies to get their thoughts on who they like versus who they don't like. Vernicia really likes Joel. She was blushing and everything. She really, really likes her some Joel, honey. Of course, Liz and David, Amber and Chris, Chrysanthemum and Ron. So we already see who they like. Now let's talk about who don't nobody like. The three names that popped up was AJ, David, and Mother Troy. Okay, those were the three names that popped up. So the ladies had to make a decision on who the final two are going to be, go and have a sit down with them and let them know whether or not they're ready to love. Stacy goes to meet with Troy and Amber goes to meet with David. Amber tells David, hey, the ladies had some concerns. You know, you feel as though you may be a controlling guy and all of this stuff. And he remembered exactly where this conversation came from. You know, as far as the privacy conversation and the transparency, he said, I know this conversation came directly from Stacy, so let me go ahead and give you my viewpoints on it and what it is that I was thinking and how this conversation actually went. He gave her his 2 cents and everything, but at the end of the day, David was one of the guys that ended up staying. And Stacy told Troy, the ladies did not feel comfortable with you and your sister one that need to go home. And then he had the audacity to say that he was disappointed in himself. Sir, if you don't get your disappointing the fuck out and go ahead and go about your business, okay, because your time is surely up here, you can go ahead and head out. All right, we didn't have to hear any extra words from Troy. Troy think he's that dude, so let him be that dude that's leaving the show. Go ahead and go out there and run amok in Houston as you have been doing, as we do not need you here, honey. And I was glad to see it. Okay, so let's see who I think probably gonna go home next week. I don't know. I feel like this is hard. I'm trying to see who has not really made a connection. Well, really, it's gonna be the guys' turn to make a decision on the women. So when it comes to who the guys are going to choose to go home next week. I'm not sure. I want to say it could be Tressa, because I just think there are not enough guys that are really attracted or into getting to know Tressa. I'm not seeing a lot of them put in the effort. Who else can I see? I'm afraid Amber could go home as well because she hasn't made many connections herself. Those are the two that I can see going home, Amber or Tressa. You know, I don't know if Chris is going to be able to fight for Amber. So I really can see Amber going home. Like with Tressa, although Dietrich was able to fight for Tressa, there were other guys that were there that said that they liked Tressa as well. But I don't think there are going to be enough guys that are going to like Amber. That makes me think that Amber could potentially be the next to go. And I'm only saying Tressa because Tressa was already on the chopping block and it could potentially be her. So we'll just see. Not really sure, but this should be a very, very interesting. I want to hear you guys' thoughts and comments down below. Who do you think is the next woman to leave on next week? When it comes to the guys, AJ, Dietrich, or Ron, I really can see it being either three of those guys, as they haven't really made much of a connection. I can see Chrysanthemum trying to fight for Ron. I don't really see a lot of ladies truly interested in AJ aside from Alexis. So we shall see. Dietrich, I don't think any ladies are really interested in Dietrich right now. So we shall see. Those are the three options. It could change, but right now I have AJ, Dietrich, and Ron could potentially go. And for the ladies, I believe it could be Tressa or Amber. But like I said, I would love to hear you guys' thoughts and comments down below. Let me know which lady and guy you think will be next to go. I'm Jamie, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. If you like, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jamie, that's me. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.